one brand who is now setting up something more for the community. They have been selling a lot of decks in the past already, but they always had some great videos. And now they actually came up with a competition. We are now talking about the missing battles. So there was never really somebody who claimed to be like the Cardistry World Championships or something, but there was always a big competition in each year, I feel like. So we had the CCC, the Cardistry Con Championship, which for the last time happened in 2019, so before COVID. Then we had the Fontaine Trials in 2020, 2021, and 2022. And this year we had first the Lotus in Hand singles. I think it started December last year and ended in January this year. Or no, it was over a few months. It ended sometime this year. And now we have the Missing Battles, which is another big competition. And it is about to start now. So now is the time when you are able to submit your entries. I'm not exactly sure when this podcast will be up, but probably before the people from round one will be announced. So the format for this competition works that everybody will submit one move as an entry, and then the top 8, I believe, will get into the round one. And then in round 1 you have to post 2 moves. In round 2 you have to post 3 moves, and in round 3, which is the final, you have to post 4 moves. And for the first for the entry, you just post it on Instagram and tag them and stuff. And for the other ones, you will send them the video and they will post it on YouTube. Right. And I think this is really interesting because until like right before the con, some people told me, oh, it's so sad that Fontaine is not doing the trials anymore. And I was still hoping that the trials would happen until the con, basically. So I was always like I said, why do you think it's not happening? There's still enough time this year. We could still see that. But now with Fontaine saying that they you probably saw the Fontaine post. It makes sense that they don't do the Fontaine trials this year. And I feel like Missing is the perfect brand to just take over this competition part for the cardistry community right now. So for me, even though this hasn't happened until now, the competition is just getting started. It feels like this is the big competition this year. You could also see the Lotus in Hand singles as something. Maybe it's a bigger one. Maybe it's different. I don't know. But for me right now, it feels like the Missing one is a bit bigger than the Lotus in Hand one was. But we will see during the competition. And it feels great that Missing is moving in that direction. I'm a big fan of what Missing is doing and was doing for the last years. And a competition is something I feel like we need in the cardistry community. It's such a good way, such a good motivation to create moves for a special occasion, for this contest. And it's just cool to see people what people have saved up and stuff. So I'm really looking forward to see this competition.
Right. Yeah, it is. I mean, I don't really think it's so necessary to kind of compare all the times, because obviously it's just not on the level as Fontaine trials, with just also from the price and from the scale. But then also they have a different format, which is great. As you said, it is probably most similar to the Lotus in Hand singles, just in the sense that it's about single individual moves.
Yes.
But then also I think nobody would argue against the fact that more competitions are just great, because you can, if you don't want to take part, then fucking don't, right? But to have the opportunity and to have these brands kind of do community building, I think this is a great example. Obviously, I mean, this doesn't really go towards what we were talking earlier about. I also personally just would, even though Missing is doing an insanely good job currently with their consistency and stuff, I also would just love to see a bit more personality going on there. But I get what they are trying to build and kind of also showing this, and I think they are among the top regarding consistency, top brands at the moment, and I think many people would agree with me on that. And now coming out with this competition, it's just a great, nice thing to do something for the community, to have something happen. And as you said, it's going to be exciting to see how this goes. To be honest, I have not, in the beginning, not quite really understood the format too well, because also one round is that it has to be filmed on a tripod, which is quite interesting.
All of the rounds have to be on tripod, except for the finals,
Do you but that is weird. Why the finals not?
That is the same thing as Fontaine did in the trials every year.
Did they?
Yeah, you had to film everything on a tripod, but for the finals it was allowed to let somebody else film.
Okay, well, I guess because obviously if you have another person film, then the video will be just better 90% of the time. But I thought the idea behind having it on a tripod would be that if you just make it a rule, then the people who have no other option aren't,
Yes, and that is the case for the whole competition, except for the final.
But then if you don't do it for the final, then it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but I understand why they do it. So especially in the Fontaine trials, they want to have it the same for everybody. Zach even said once that he was thinking, like in the first year of the trials, 2020. He said somewhere that he was thinking about sending everybody who got into the competition one GoPro, and they all had to use the same camera, so nobody has advantages from the camera that they used. He didn't end up doing that, but his idea to force everybody to use a tripod, to make it the same thing for everybody, so nobody has an advantage by more people living close by, more carders and stuff. I get that is logical. And then for the finals, I guess they just want to have great videos, videos. They have some time to produce the final, and so you want to get the best result as possible. So there, I guess it's fine that you have somebody else letting you film. And in the first year, it was kind of funny because in the first year it was Carter versus Trevor in the finals, and Carter even filmed the finals on a tripod, and Trevor had somebody film him, probably Kyle, but I'm not sure, maybe somebody else. So Carter is really good at like moving around and interacting with a tripod. And you really see that in the finals video. So for him, it even made sense to use that in the finals. But he lost, so maybe it's also because of the camera movement. We don't know. But for me, it makes sense to have that. But in the missing battles, you're right. I think you also only have like 1 week to submit the final video. So it will be hard to actually film a good video in that time. So it might have been better to also use a tripod for that one. I'm not sure, but
I think
in general,
I would understand. I mean, I get it, and also if Fontaine does it, then obviously it's approved, right? But I don't know. I didn't know that. I would have thought, to me, it seems like just go either way or the other. If you have a rule, then make it for the entire thing. But anyways, I'm super excited to see how this is gonna go. Also because it will be over. It is September 15th now. And October, I'm just looking at this. Battle premieres October 15th, the final round, and champion announced October 17th. So in just about a month, it'll be over. And I think that's super cool that they do it fast, It's not too long. And I might actually be following along for that one.
That's crazy.
See if I end up doing it, because as only Mattis probably knows, I have never seen the Fontaine trials. I don't know. I don't know. At the times these were released, I just wasn't too much in the watching moves, and whenever also. But that is what I'm interested in with these individual moves. It will be easier to consume. Right, but because I remember when we were on the Germany tour, for which we've made the recap video, you guys were looking at the videos of the Fontaine trials in the train. And to be totally honest, I don't know if I'm just fucking, like, if I'm the issue, but I was looking at the videos, and to me it was super difficult for some reason to kind of evaluate. I don't know. I'm a cardist too, right? Like we've been on the tour and at the events, and I'm involved in the community. But I was looking at it. It wasn't like, to me. It wasn't. I don't know. For some reason I wasn't too engaged in it. You know what I mean?
I think I get what you mean, and I'm not sure if it will be better in this one, because it was, like you said, that it is with individual moves in the Lotus in Hand singles. But to be honest, I think I saw all of the moves, but I didn't follow along that much, so I didn't care that much about who moves on, who's like, I didn't follow the competition that much. But that was more because it was for such a long time. You always had so much time to submit your next move. So the competition, I think it started in like December last year and finished in like April or something. It was like for such a long time that this thing took place. And now that is way better with the missing battles, as you said, that it will be each week basically a new video. So that might help, but for the missing battles, for the entry, it's just one move, and for round one, it's not. It doesn't say two, or like it is two moves, but you still submit it as one video probably. So you send it to them, and they will post it as one long video on YouTube as well. So it will be like a mix of. Like from the way it is presented to the audience, it will be a mix of the Lotus in Hand singles and the Fontaine trials, because it is a move limit and not a time limit. But still, it's shown in like a full video. So I'm not sure if it will improve the way you feel like. And
I mean, they might as well. I would really appreciate if they would post it to Instagram in some way. If they have individual moves, it would be easy for them to cut down. But yeah, you're right. Yeah, I don't know. We'll just see. It's great that they do it, and we just wanted to tell to like everyone who hasn't heard about that yet. I think, as you said, it even is still on open for until
Monday,
18th or something. So in case whenever this will be out, you might still be able to compete, right? So. If you feel like that, check out Missing on Instagram. And
I will definitely also post an entry and see how far I can go. But that is also something, now with the studies, I already said that I have so much to do right now. And sometimes you have to record some of the rounds like during the week. Like there's less than 1 week to submit the next video. So that might be really hard for me. Like if I even get in, like I have no idea. But I already filmed some stuff for the entry. I might refilm that, but I'm not sure yet. So I will post it on the weekend and just see if I can get in or not. It's just 8 people getting in, so it might be quite difficult. And there have been some really cool posts already. But there haven't been as many posts as I expected. So I thought that more people would even enter. Maybe we see everybody...
About how many have ever entered? Do you know?
I would assume like 30 people entered or something.
Okay, that's all right.
Something like that. But I also think a lot of people might save up until the last day or something and post in the end. So I think we will still see some really good entries. Yeah.